For a number of years, these South Central Pennsylvania musicians have dreamt of becoming a successful rock and roll band. But success in the music business comes only after traveling down a very hard road. Dissension, disappointments, fatigue, and the ever-present lack of money will break up most groups long before their dreams can be realized. But Fly By Night has stuck it out. They've played the small bars, the obscure festivals, and the high school dances, and practiced for endless hours while supporting themselves with part-time jobs. Now, this year, the hard work has begun to pay off as they've emerged as the area's top rock and roll act. Tonight, join Fly By Night's dream as they present their first TV special. It's time to take off with Fly By Night.
Trying to get away safe.
Okay, this band formed almost 2 years ago.
September. It'll be 2 years in September.
And Gary and Randy and I had played before in a band just previous to that for about 1.5 years. So we were together already. Originally, I met Bob at Shippensburg at the college, and he was playing up there, not with me, but I was in a band, he was in a band, and we got to know each other. And Rick, of course, is a Hanover native, so he was around. And Bob, who used to live in Philly, native of Philly, decided to settle here just for our benefit, for the benefit of the band. And that's how it really, these 5 people got together.
Well, I'll tell you, Clark, it was an unusual set of circumstances that led to me playing with Fly By Night. I was living in Baltimore, which is a big city on the East Coast, and I really thought that I had kind of found my niche. And what I was doing was I was sitting in an apartment all day and watching TV and just kind of taking it easy and not really doing much of anything. And I got a telephone call from up in South Central Pennsylvania, which is nowhere. It's just a lot of trees and streams and things and rainstorms. And these guys called me. They didn't know me, you know, particularly. They just kind of fell into it by accident, and they were hunting for musicians. And they asked me if I'd come up and audition. And I came up, and I never saw such a pathetic bunch of human flotsam in my life. I really just didn't know what was going to happen, but it was like a kind of chemistry that, well, we people in the music business like to talk about, how sometimes you get together with people with their axes, and it just happens. It's just the kind of flow. It's hitting the note, as I heard Greg Allman say one time when I was carrying equipment for him. And I knew that this was going to be the right thing. And you talk about the spiritual, cosmic aspects or people falling into marriage, and in a way it is a marriage. I do feel like I'm married to many of them, in particular Rick, who I'm really fond of.
When I originally pictured it, you know, like when I was really young, I had like visions of lots of money, girls in every town, and things like that. But it turned out to be a lot more work than I actually anticipated. A lot of dead ends, a lot of disappointments, but
Actually, you know, from my viewpoint anyway, I think, you know, maybe it's, you know, you're talking from a very youthful viewpoint, like when we got started in it, you know, and like growing into it. This is really like the most serious band I've ever had. And, you know, I think at this point I'm getting what I expected out of it to a certain degree, because it's a long way to go. But the work involved is incredible.
Sing about your freedom. Such a great catch, y'all. Tell us about love. You spineless buffoon. Just one more exact abstraction. Just another broken string. Such a simple communication. It can make your ears ring. On the road, it's a heavy load. Cliche, cliche, cliche. My love's been bought and sold. Cliche, cliche, cliche. I want you to rock me like my back has got no bone. Do-wah, do-wah, do-wah. Whatever you do, darling, don't you leave me all alone. Do-wah, do-wah, do-wah. Well, hey, turn on that love light. Cliche, cliche, cliche. Come on and let it shine all night. Cliche, cliche, cliche. Do you wanna do-wah, do you wanna? Do-wah, do-wah, do-wah. Do you wanna do-wah, do you wanna? Do-wah, do-wah, do-wah. Hey bartender, get me a beer. Cliche, cliche, cliche. One more cliche, we'll be out of here. Cliche, cliche, cliche. Think about tomorrow and the tone you're going to get. Blame it on the future, 'cause it hasn't happened yet. Running down the highway, careful not to far. Some dues you'll never pay, and you know what they are.
Well, you know, to pay the bills and keep a band going, we've had to work other jobs. I mean, the band in itself is a job. People don't realize how much time it takes up. It takes up a lot of time. And when you're doing that full time, you know, you work your 8 to 5 job, and then you get off and you grab a hamburger and head out to practice, you know, maybe till 11 at night. And then on the weekends, you know, you work your job.
What kind of jobs have you had?
Many. Gary's a Sears employee.
Warehouse.
A Sears employee. Bob's a house painter. Rick has been a jack of all trades.
Yeah, Rick is gainfully unemployed.
Randy's a ex-machinist who couldn't handle it anymore.
Charles here is a substitute teacher.
I step into classrooms once in a while.
The biggest thing I have to overcome is the fact that I have like a real problem getting away from my need to work in a blue-collar type of capacity. I feel intense guilt being raised upper-class white person, and I just have the need to constantly expose myself to degrading job situations. So currently I'm working as a house painter where there's considerable danger in my hands every day, and I find that it's kind of like a penance that I'm doing to, you know, compensate for the fact that I did have so many advantages, and I do want to kind of find out how the other half lives.
other day. I threw my records all away. I dumped my clothes out on the floor. Can't seem to live here anymore. Ripped my pictures off the wall. I tore the phone out of the hall. It seemed like a natural thing to do. I was going crazy without you. See what you, see what you, see what you made me do. I'm going crazy without you. Gotta go and take a bus. Landlord's raising an awful fuss. Yeah, I wrecked my room the other day. Guess I'm in a pretty bad way. I wrecked my room the other day. I threw my feelings all away. Yeah, I know you've heard this all before. Can't seem to live here anymore.
I had like about 2 years of private guitar lessons. Well, first I started out on bass, and I played that in a couple of bands up until about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I switched to guitar. And there wasn't really a lot of training, and whatever I did learn, like from lessons, really didn't help me that much in playing rock and roll, except that it gave me like a basic understanding of the instrument. But most of the things I did were on my own, like from listening to other people play, which would be like Hendrix or Clapton. Like that was the era I started playing guitar, and so I was influenced by those people, the hard rock people, I guess.
I began to think about music and the idea of playing music when I was about 8 years old. And at that time, my older brother, brought home a Beatles record and was playing it in the living room up in Connecticut. And I got a broom out of the closet and, kind of jammed a little bit with it, using the bristle end for the body of the guitar where the pickups would be, and the long wooden handle for the neck. And my mother was really happy, and it seemed to really make her pleased. And I had often been a difficult child, and I realized that possibly I would be able to communicate with people besides my mother through this kind of medium, not necessarily with a broom, of course, but with a guitar.
Well, I've had some formal training. It's been a little unconventional. When I was 8, there was a strange little instrument called the accordion, which has since disappeared. Nobody knows exactly what it is anymore. But I had a lot of musical background in that, about 6 years of lessons, starting when I was 8, grade school. Had a few saxophone lessons, a few guitar lessons, and when I was about 14 and decided that I wanted to play rock and roll, the thing seemed to be to go, well, then it was the organ, because I did have that background, and I'm grateful for that, you know. It's still a little bizarre. I still look for buttons for my left hand, but...
Change of wonder. How can I stop the wheels from turning so fast? Have time to live at last. Are there real changes? Or is it all something somebody said a long time ago? How much longer till we're on top of the stage? I've got to move on to another way. Such a long time away. Running the race with time and patience. Every day you're thinking about tomorrow, hoping for something to show. Through endless setbacks, you're pushing onward. Living the life that big money would surely enhance, but it's a child of a chance.
our goal for this band is to just take the music as far as we can take it. You know, we're not looking for anything like the Beatles or anything like that, but we just, you know, we want to make a living playing music and
hopefully recording.
Yeah, recording.
That's why we concentrate so much on original material. Because even though you can appease people a lot better with the top 40, the disco format, it won't get you anywhere except bar rooms. You know, if you want to be a recording band, you have to go original material.
Well, ideally, we'd like to be recording. You know, we're looking for a record contract. We've been putting out demos and trying to convince somebody is what it really amounts to. A lot of it is selling, you know, your product to the person who's buying it. And
I think we'll be riding it out for a long time. I don't know if it, you know, you say a 2-year goal or, you know, setting a time limit on it. You know, if it happens next month or if it takes 5, 10 years, you know, I really almost think I'm still going to be working at it. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be much else.
The toughest test for us really is there's a set little pattern in the music that's coming out now. You know, it has to have boom, bah, you know, just straight drum beat, straight bass line, and our music varies from, you know, the normal. I think we have an original sound. I think our music is original.
Hi, Mom.